right, you're welcome back, and still on Thursday's edition of Morning Ride. It is time for our interview segments. And joining me this morning, we're going to be talking about the Delta youth. What good plans is awaiting the Delta youth? And speaking to that conversation, join me, welcome Comrade Sagoje Udiri Milton, the CLN State Chairman, NYCN Delta State. He is also the Deputy Chairman, Secretary, the Deputy National Secretary, Forum of State Chairmen, National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYCN. Good morning, sir.
Yes, that's a man with a double portfolio.
Yeah.
First as the state chairman, and secondly as the secretary general.
Deputy National Secretary.
These are very, very powerful
portfolios. Yeah.
For Delta State.
When you see him, you know that
it's a portfolio to serve.
Okay.
Basically, it's a servant.
When you see him, you know that yes, he can actually handle it and even more. Maybe we should give him more.
Odiri is tested, having gone through the tutelage of the likes of one of Nigeria's best, Comrade Hope George, and Kenneth Okori. So he has gone through the fire.
And he looks like Hope George. He looks like good to have you, sir.
It's good to have you.
You're welcome. All right, so NYCN, you tell us the meaning. I don't want to do that for you. And you tell us the umbrella story also, so you do that. And we're going to be looking at the plans for Delta youth generally. So now, before we go into your plans for Delta youth, tell us about the body.
Okay, thank you for having me. Thank you for your platform, what you are doing to help sensitize our people here in Delta State. Basically, the National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYCN, like you see, is the umbrella body of all youth organizations in Nigeria. Okay. It was established by an Act of Parliament in 1963, and it was further reinforced by the National Youth Policy of 2009. So the National Youth Council is the chief implementing youth body of the National Youth Policy that is currently under review by the federal government. So it's not a government organization. It's like a PPP. It's a public-private partnership to engage our youth strategically for effective leadership and governance.
So your focus is on the youth?
Basically.
Okay.
Yes. And so that compasses, giving bites to youth organizations. Now, we're talking of the likes of the Nigerian Boy Scouts.
Yes.
The
youth organizations, we have the voluntary youth organizations, we have the faith-based, we have the uniform organization. The faith-based is the Anglican Youth Fellowship, the Catholic Youth Organization of Nigeria, Muslim youth. Then the uniform organization is where you have the Boys Brigade, the Scouts, Man O' War, Man of Order, and so many of them. So many of them.
There's Guide.
There's the all and so many of the Lady Auxiliary, Royal Ambassador, so many.
Yes, God. Now, do we still have Brownie? I think then we used to have Brownie.
Yes, we
still have Brownie.
But Brownie, yes.
We still have it. Yeah. I've never heard them from Sean.
Under the Girls Guide.
Under the Girls Guide, yeah. Okay. All right. So we are looking at Delta Youth now. So how would you rate Delta Youths? How would you rate them before assumption into office? How would you rate their inclusiveness in learning, in politics, generally life? How would you rate the Delta youth and their seriousness to take things?
Well, personally, I feel that Delta youths are very industrious. We are ready to learn when given the opportunity, and we are very, very vast too, and that is why you see us making exploits in almost all the sectors in Nigeria. But there is room for improvement. And that is why we are here to help amplify that voice that we already have, strengthen the bond between the government, the youths, and of course the people.
Okay. Were you elected into office or appointed into office?
I was elected.
You were elected into office last year?
Last year, September 23rd.
Okay. So from last year till date, what have been your contribution to the Delta youth?
Okay. Thank you very much. Fortunately, we were elected at a time that Nigeria is preparing for election. Okay. And we saw that the basic need of the youth as at now is to keep them involved in governance, give them an opportunity, the knowledge and the skills to understand between political promises and be real participants in the electoral process. This time we wanted to be responsible participants in the electoral process. And that is why we started with a voter sensitization campaign in Delta Central. We started it in Delta Central. It is thought to be a statewide program. But we started in November in Delta Central. We've concluded Delta Central. We're moving to North now. We went from markets, streets, schools to sensitize the youth on the needs to register in the ongoing voters registration exercise and also collect their PVC.
Yes, I must give it seriously to the youths, having also been a youth at a point. And I know when you build the youth,
you build the nation.
You build the nation.
Yes.
As so far, has government really found it right to carry the youths along? Because no youth, I had no youth, no politics. And that is the truth. And that is why when you see politicians move, they move with the youth. And the youth go with them in various capacities. Some go as the Oye boys, some go as the One Belle boys. Some go.
Which one is One Belle boys?
Some also go as members of the think tank.
Yes, some also go as members of the think tank. But don't you think, government should pay very, very serious attention to the youth, so to speak?
Of course. To be fair, I think we've been very lucky in Delta to have governors that are youth-friendly. And let me specifically talk on the current administration here in Delta. I recall that when the list of commissioners were released, we found out that more than 50% of the commissioners were under 40 as at that time. I think it's a big boost for us as a state, and I believe that I think with that it shows the seriousness of the administration towards carrying the youth along. More than 70% of the political appointees in the state are young people. With the EAs, the SSA, and what have you, they are all young people. Most of them, they are young people. And that's to tell you that the government is ready to utilize our resources, which is our intellectual capacity to help shaping leadership in our state. But there is always room for improvement. Right. Just like the agenda of the state government, let the government do more for our young people.
Okay. So when you're talking about doing more, I knew that at various administrations over the period, you had your youth week. You had other international days with the youth, where youth were sponsored outside the shores of Nigeria for international conferences and all of that. Is there any symbiotic relationship ahead for this present administration to also cascade all of that by way of resolution?
Hopefully we are working on having our youth participate in this year International Youth Day. We are just waiting for the team of the International Youth Day to come up so that we can begin the process of sponsoring some of our youth to attend the international convention. But beyond that, beyond the international travels, back home, it's like a yearly ritual for us. The International Youth Week is like a yearly ritual for us as a state, and most of our programs are sponsored by the government for that particular Youth Week. So there is obviously plan to sustain and remarkably improve on what has been happening in the past. Quite recently, some young people were sponsored to Liberia through my dear brother Visa Bobi. Not too young to lead the movement. Those are part of the young people that we'll talk about in the state. So it shows that the government is sustaining that effort, and we hope that they will also improve on it going forward.
Now let's deviate from politics and going outside the shores, for training and others. Let's narrow it back to what is basically disturbing our youth. Talking about cultism and communal land disputes. Now, with your office, what is your strategy for enhancing peace and security in these areas just mentioned?
Basically, I think the most fundamental problems that we have as young people today is that twin problem of drug abuse and cultism. And it is these vices that give birth to the communal crisis that will have land grabbing and what have you. Because it is when these people have taken substances that are above that their system cannot take, and they are into cultism that encourage them to pick arms and fight their neighbors, fight their brothers and sisters. So for drug abuse, we've come up with a flagship program called the Delta Beyond Drugs campaign, though we've not launched it officially because we're still working behind the scene.
Sorry, Delta Beyond Drugs
campaign.
Okay.
It's targeted at secondary school students because we believe we want to capture them young. We are still working with the State Ministry of Education and the Nigerian Law Enforcement Agency for a stronger partnership to drive the process. What we intend to do with that program is, at every school that we'll visit, we'll sensitize them on the need to stay away from drugs. Then, when we are leaving, we'll set up an anti-drugs club in that school. Just like the way you have that debating society back then in schools and the rest. We want to have that anti-drugs club in school. We'll have some of the teachers to be our instructors. We also work with the National Youth Service Corps to ensure that some of the core members also serve as instructors. So we believe that with that we'll be able to treat the ailment from the foundation. Because it is from this secondary school that this peer pressure usually come in. This my uncle give me, my brother give me one thing. I said, take a man, get what my body do me. Take a verse. And that is how they introduce these people into substance abuse and cultism. So I believe that by the time we minimize, because we're not saying we're going to eradicate drug abuse and cultism, it's a gradual process. But with God helping us and working with the right statistics and the cooperation of the relevant stakeholders, I'm sure that in the next 10 years, we should be able to have a drug-free Delta State.
Okay. Yes. I believe you have your blueprints when you came into office. And I want to believe that you understand Governor Sheriff Oborevori's roadmap. Now, how would you align your local community projects, like what you have on your blueprint, what you intend to do? How would you align it with the realistic reform pillar of the more agenda?
Before we get to that, which is more ambiguous, moving forward, I'm particularly interested in this drug menace, because I want to find out how you intend to drive the process, because if you're starting from the secondary schools, I know we have over 300. More than 300?
Even if it's not from the primary school.
No, the secondary school, because that is where the pressure is. At the primary school, they are still...
At the primary school, it's minimum. Because we have parents that control them.
But from secondary school, college, even from college 1.
From JS1.
From JS1, that is when this issue of cultism and engaging themselves in drugs, so how do you intend to drive the process? Because you have quite a lot going for you, hitting the ground as fast as possible, so that at the end of your tenure, after 2 terms for you, your name should be...
Let's work with 1 term.
I know he didn't get that 2 term initially.
No, let's work with 1 term first.
Your name should be written in the sense of time.
time.
Please, can you speak to that quickly?
Okay, like I said earlier, the Data Beyond Drug is our flagship program.
Okay.
It's we hold it very seriously,
okay.
And that is why we want to ensure that all bottlenecks are resolved before we flag up the program. Now, the strategies are very simple. Yes, there are quite a numbers of schools in the state. And you also understand that the National Youth Council, apart from maybe the APC, the political party APC, we have one of the strongest structure in Nigeria, administrative structure in Nigeria. The states, the senatorial level, the local government level, and even the ward level, we have structures.
Yeah.
So what we intend to do is, by the time we flag it up at the state level, the various local government will take it over from there. Okay. Then at intervals, we'll be moving around some of these schools. So while maybe school 1 in Anyocha's house is doing the program today, school 2 in Bomadi is also doing it. School 3 in maybe somewhere in Central, like in Ugele or Baigolo, is doing it. So it's something that we want to do simultaneously using our existing structure to drive the process.
Oh, beautiful. I think I have the proper answer now. Yes, so lady, more agenda.
Yes. I was asking how you would align your community project, or your pet project, let me call it your pet project, with the realistic reforms.
Now, the more agenda of the governor, meaningful development, opportunities for all, realistic reform, enhance peace and security. Now, without responsible youth, you cannot achieve meaningful development. Without responsible youth, you cannot enhance peace and security.
Sure.
Without responsible youth in leadership, you cannot have realistic reforms. So if you look at the more agenda, it's centered around the young people. And all the programs that we intend to do, the drug abuse campaign, there's another program that we are also planning, we are still developing it, is the Delta State Youth Leadership Institute. It's like a faculty for training the leaders of tomorrow.
Okay.
We want to do it in a way that it will run as like a school where we groom leaders on how to be responsible citizens first. Because it is only when you are a responsible citizen that you can be a responsible leader.
Yes.
So all this keys into the more agenda of the government.
Okay. Now, you know about this program, the STEP, the YAGEP, you know about the program. Now, most people, yes, are saying that the opportunities that come are just for the party loyalists. That's what they say. Now, using your position or your office now, how would you ensure that these state-sponsored programs, the STEP, the YAGEP, they reach the most vulnerable and not the political loyalists, like people say? Because sometimes you keep seeing the same faces. So how would you use your office to make sure the vulnerable gets these positions?
Okay, it has to do with what we are developing now, the data youth policy.
Okay.
That policy will define the role of everybody. You know, one of the major challenges that we have now is that most agencies of governments, they organize youth empowerment program without even consulting the Ministry of Youth, and sometimes the National Youth Council. And that is where you see some of this problem coming. Yes. But with the state youth policy that we are developing, it will define the role of the Ministry of Youth. Then, you see, sometimes I may not know about STEP and RISA, because those programs were not done during my time. RISA, I think I know about RISA a little, but STEP, YAGEP, I didn't know the procedures that were used because they were not done during my time.
Okay.
But I know RISA, the process were open. RISA and this other one, Get Child program, I think the process were open Forms were distributed to local government councils. People went there, picked form, and some of them were shortlisted. Obviously, everybody cannot be shortlisted at the same time. But I think that what the government should do is, because when you have the office of, for instance, the Job Creation Office and the Ministry of Youth, whatever empowerment that the government wants to do, they should have a database of those that have benefited in the past. Yes. So that by the time you impute, just like the way they do the civil service, that you cannot take salary from two agencies of government, you can also have the same process.
Sure.
Let's have that database. If you have been empowered by, say, Desopadec, I know Desopadec is also doing Desopadec Skill Academy.
Yes.
And that empowerment, like I told somebody, if Desopadec empower you, you shouldn't have any problem in life again. Because they give you everything that you need to start a trade, and also give you, I think, 500,000 to start off. So, but most of these people, what they do is, after collecting the empowerment, they sell. And that's because of political patronage. Some of these programs have been induced, legally induced, and then now gives slot to, may not be to party party loyalists, but some big people. Let me say some big people, and they give this law to their family members who are not ready for the job. So I want to propose going forward that that training and empowerment of people should be reduced to those that have learned the skills. They should focus more now on people that have learned the skills on their own, but they don't have the means to start a business. Those are the kind of people that the government should focus on. At least for the next 2 years. Let's empower these people. Then you begin to see the multiplying effects of the empowerment that is being done. But when you just pick somebody from the street who is not ready to learn the trade and you train him, the moment he leaves there, he sells the item and goes back to the street. But somebody that have taken the pain upon his or herself to go and learn the trade, master it, but doesn't have the necessary capital to start off. And if you give that person, for instance, you buy everything the person needs and you give that person 1 million, trust me, in the next 1 year, you will see that that person has trained more people.
That's correct.
So I will advise the government to concentrate more on people that have skills now. Maybe after we have, I think it will not encourage people that don't have skill to begin to learn the skills. And maybe by then the leaders in various areas can now encourage them to learn. But for those that will be empowered, let it be people that have learned the skills.
Okay, I love that way because it shows that at the end of the day, what we will have is a multiplier effect. And so quickly, just before we let you go, they say who dictates the piper, who dictates the tune. 2027 is around the curve already. Which of the divides you belong to? Are you multi-party, or you are loyal to a particular group?
Okay, the National Youth Council is not a political organization. We are for all. We are for everybody, we are for nobody.
Yes.
But the governor of the state is our grand patron at the state level. By the law. The president is the grand patron of the council at the national level. And we are bound to support the government of the day. So if the programs of the administration aligns with our objective, of course we can say, okay, we are supporting the current governor to return, or we are supporting the current president to return. But that also depends on the decision of the general group. But personally, I am a member of the APC. I have rights as an individual, so as comrade Ojiri Milton Sagoji, to support a political party. But as a council, the council is apolitical. So for me, I am supporting the return of the governor. And for the council, before the election, you will hear from us.
Your word of advice to the youth as we round off.
Okay, our dear young people of Delta State, Delta, nobody will repair our state for us.
At all.
It is we, the indigenous, the citizens of this state, that can help to shaping the leadership that we want. If we continue to stay away from the electoral process, we will continue to encourage some of these people that we don't want to be in power to be in power. So I encourage our young people to register, get their PVC, be responsible citizens. Say no to drugs, say no to cultism, say yes to skills, say yes to responsible citizenship.
Right.
Okay, that's a beautiful way to drop it, Odiri, and sincerely, I'm not singing you, but I must say that you're one of Nigeria's best, if you ask me, because you got the quality, you got all that it takes. So on our own part, sincerely, we always want to have you around, because I know when youths of your magnitude see you, they want to be encouraged. They want to listen to you. So we wish you all the best in your political enterprise and your youthful enterprise.
Yes.
So to say.
In our service.
All right, thank you so much. We were speaking with Comrade Saboje Odiri Milton, CLN. Milton.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I said. Milton. Okay.
The CLN is Certified Librarian of Nigeria. I'm a librarian by training.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, welcome to the club. And he's the state chairman, NYCN. Also doubles as the Deputy National Secretary, Forum of State Chairmen, National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYCN. And you heard from him. It says, nobody can shape in your state other than you. So say no to vices, say no to land grabbing, say no to, in fact, generally, vices. And also, in Delta State, the involvement of youth in politics is currently centered around Governor Sheriff Oborevori's more agenda, meaningful development, opportunities for all, realistic reforms, and enhanced peace and security. And now we all know that this strategy focuses on transitioning young people from being mere political mobilizers to actual stakeholders and decision makers through various specific initiatives. And I know to drop Morning Ride Thursday's edition, and from Onometano.
Yeah, it's been fun, being on the ride. And we'll do this again bright and early, same time tomorrow. God bless Delta State. God bless Nigeria. My name is Onometano.
And on behalf of our supervising producer, Nimbofa Ozigbo, I want to say thank you so much for riding with us this morning. No matter what goes on in your life, always remember that your current condition does not reflect your ultimate potential. My name is Lilibet Ugochukwu. Have a wonderful Thursday. Bye.